Really?
This is the story of a cat who started out completely black and then slowly decided to make herself more interesting. Okay, it's not like she chose to be extraordinary. She just woke up one day and started turning into a living work of art. Sally was born a medium-haired, all-black cat, and for the first 6 months of her life, there was nothing about her appearance that would make a stranger stop in their tracks. What there was, though, was a kitten nobody seemed to want. Sally and her brother Jack were passed over by multiple potential adopters before one family finally saw them at their foster home through a local cat adoption. They took them in and brought them home in February 2021, when Sally was just 6 months old. It didn't take long to realize these two were meant to stay. Sally and Jack had found their people. At the time of the adoption, nobody knew what was coming. Sally and Jack were just two regular black cats settling into a new home, figuring out the furniture and testing the boundaries. But about 6 months after coming home, something started to happen. White patches began appearing on Sally's fur. Her black coat started to transform, gradually and unpredictably, into something that looked like no other cat anyone had seen before. The explanation came from a pretty convenient source. Michelle's brother happens to be a veterinarian, which is the kind of family connection that really comes in handy in moments like these. He was the one who identified what was going on. Sally has vitiligo, a hereditary condition that causes the fur to lose pigmentation over time. In Sally's case, that means her black fur is slowly turning white, patch by patch, in a pattern that is entirely her own and continues to change as she gets older. But that's only half the story. As it turns out, Sally is also a Chimera cat. This is a rare phenomenon that happens when two embryos fuse together in the womb. The result is an animal that is, genetically speaking, something of a two-in-one situation. Chimera cats have faces split between two colors, with each side a different shade. In many of them, the line dividing those colors is nearly perfectly straight. This explains why the markings on her face appear only on one side. Two rare conditions, one very unbothered cat. And unbothered is really the key word here. A Chimera cat with the coat that keeps reinventing itself may sound dramatic, but it doesn't cause any discomfort. Sally is in perfect health. No pain, no existential crisis about her changing appearance. She is completely fine with being a masterpiece. She is a devoted fan of long naps and spending as much time as possible with Jack. Jack is her best friend, her roommate, and pretty much her entire social life. The two of them cuddle and play all day. And if you've been wondering how they got their names and thought The Nightmare Before Christmas had something to do with it, you're right. Sally's owner's little daughter is completely obsessed with the movie. It was also a small act of advocacy. Black cats get passed over in shelters more than almost any other type of cat, and naming them after beloved Halloween characters felt like the right kind of tribute. Given that Jack and Sally themselves were passed over multiple times before finding their home, the names feel especially fitting. Now, about Sally's personality, because her looks are only part of the picture. According to her mom, the rescue described Sally as both extremely outgoing and very shy and skittish when they first listed her for adoption. Michelle pointed out quite reasonably that those are opposite things. As it turns out, they are also both completely accurate. Sally is cuddly, sweet, goofy, and will apparently walk up to anyone without a second thought. But she's also a nervous little bean 100% of the time. She is just as much of a contradiction as her appearance. Sally is unique, but at the end of the day, she's just a cat being a cat. She loves to help her mom make the bed, which means it's impossible to do if Sally is in the room. She's very playful, and she'll play with Jack, with her humans, or all by herself. And she's chatty. She'll meow, singing her thoughts to everyone who can hear her, whether they understand her or not. Since Michelle started sharing Sally's journey online, something unexpected has grown around this changing cat. People with vitiligo themselves have found her page and felt seen. Followers have written in, sharing their own experiences with the condition, finding in a small patchy cat some kind of mirror and some kind of comfort. What started as a way to document Sally's transformation became, without anyone planning it, a small community built around the idea that what makes you different is exactly what makes you worth looking at. Sally, for her part, remains entirely unaware of her own significance. She is busy napping, playing, enjoying cuddles, and sticking close to Jack. She started out as a black cat nobody wanted. She became one white patch at a time, a cat the whole internet loves. And she has not changed her personality one bit in the process. She's still sweet, still goofy, still a nervous little bean, and still, without question, completely and perfectly herself.